what's up. You guys have definitely covered it, right?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
You know, it suggests that he was the Jeffrey Epstein of Hollywood, that there's a blackmail ring, that people are being given drugs, they're doing things while they're drugged, and then those people are controlled, right? Because if you're a rapper and your brand is hardcore and I have a video of you kissing a guy and I'm like, I'll release it unless you say or do or take this position, that's a blackmail ring, right? So
T.I. wasn't in there though.
No, he wasn't. I'm just saying that the Diddy lawsuit kind of led me to ask some larger questions about, okay, because I have been feeling like in my heart that something weird's going on with black media. You know, I'm like, what is this trash that we're trying to sell as good music? This isn't black culture. I hate that black people even call it black culture, because that's like, no, vultures came in and took black culture, turned it into something else. Like I said, I've said it many times, I grew up listening to Lauryn Hill. Stop trying to tell me this is black culture. Like, I grew up in my grandfather's house listening to The Temptations. Stop trying to tell me that this is black culture. It's not. This is rotten.
Black people aren't monolithic. I mean, you're like, even you're an example of that.
No, I'm not saying we're a monolith. I'm just saying that black people create magic when they want to, okay? There's no singer that is better than a black singer. If you want to go tit for tat, give me the best, white singer versus the best black singer. Like, we have unbelievable talent, right? So if you're going to tell me that what we are now making mainstream is the filth that I hear today, I'm going to start asking questions about who's condoning this, who's signing these people.
But music is an algorithm, right? And what they really do is they see what music is being hit on Shazam, or what people are quote unquote liking, and that's what they play more.
It's getting artificial.
That's
it's starting
what
to
they,
get
quote
artificial.
unquote, say.
No, and I think that's why, I do love Kanye, because I think he was pointing to this stuff really early. Like when he jumped on stage and grabbed a trophy from Taylor Swift, people were mad. I was mad. I remember being like, what on earth is he doing? But what was he actually telling you? That all of this it's a performance, right? Like this is not based on merit anymore. And by the way, he was factually right. The Taylor Swift video was like a girl dancing in a mirror, and Beyonce put out Single Ladies, one of the greatest music videos of all time, and they gave it to Taylor Swift. There's a narrative, there's a person that they're trying to make big whenever they make these decisions, also clarified by the Diddy lawsuit, because the person alleges, I'll say allegedly, that Diddy told him if he did this or that he would get producer of the year. Well, how could Diddy make that decision? How could Diddy offer that to somebody, full stop? This means that there's a different reason that people are getting awarded and are being platformed. And I have seen people that I just do not believe were made hot by black people, that were suddenly being thrown in our face and being invited everywhere on red carpets, and suddenly they're next Taylor Swift. It all just feels so artificial.
Who
it doesn't
Candace?
feel well. I'm giving an example. You guys talked on stage about Ice Spice. I mean, on the show about Ice Spice, you guys played my clip where I was talking about it. I don't have anything against Ice Spice. I'm sure she's a very nice girl. I really am sure. She's young. That's not a justification. What is she, 20? How old is she, 20?
I don't even know.
I think she's like 24, 25.
It's actually, she's not that young, right? Like Lauryn Hill she was like 18 when she was on Sister Act. But the point is I don't fault her for making that music, but I am seeing this artificial promotion of Ice Spice. Like all of a sudden, of all the people, that's who Taylor Swift decided to put on her on the stage and take to the Super Bowl. I have questions. I just have questions, and I do think that Kanye was trying to say something, in that moment when he took the trophy from her.
All right, so Candace Owens on the Breakfast Club sounded. Sometimes she sounded like MAGA. Sometimes she sounded woke. It was interesting. She went kind of back and forth.
Yeah, she confuses me. She's the person that I probably just don't understand.
Get ready for a lot of changes, because now she's in a whole new situation that she got fired. She got fired literally a couple days after this.
Oh yeah, because he did ask her a question about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
and then she was like cocky, like, yo, he can't fire me, or he said something like that, and he was like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So what do you think about what she said about the industry, how it works, the artificiality of it, people getting platformed, it kind of being orchestrated, who wins awards? Do you think she's right?
Of course she's right. I mean, and it's not just mainstream. It happens in all genres, I think. I think it's even with this situation with Beyonce doing country now, she's gonna get a lane there. Somebody's gonna make a lane for her there.
Yeah.
She'll probably win an award. We gave an award to Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you just manufacture what you want to see, and people behind the scenes that pull those curtains, they can do that. I don't want to put anybody in this room on blast, but they've worked at a mainstream radio station like we have, and they know how things work. No, they know how things work. I mean, we know how things work. We know that, we were I remember how we did.
We did it before.
Yeah. No, I remember the day that Sierra debuted in Atlanta. She came to the radio station. The label bought everybody in the station lunch, and then they put her album out, and they were like, we're going to do a listening party. And we listened to it, and she blew up from there because we had somebody on staff who was putting her on. Jazzy Faye was on staff. He was putting her on, and it was like, hey, this is your new family. We are going to catapult you to the top of the Atlanta scene, and that's exactly how it happened.
But I think the difference is I think the old school was more of networking relationships. Like, I got a guy that works at the station and he's my guy. Like, that's my I went to college with him, so that's my guy. So anytime I got an artist, I holler at him and then he helps me, and then vice versa. Yeah. And I think but then also sometimes back in the day, payola did happen too. So I'm not saying like different things happen.
Let me clarify.
Like that too.
I'm not talking about payola in this sense, because Jazzy Faye was a talent and so is Sierra. So it was just a coincidence that Jazzy Faye, who was putting out great music at the time, had an artist that was putting out great music, and we were able to just.
It wasn't a coincidence. It was, I work at a station. Yeah. She's my artist. I'm gonna play her music.
But what I'm saying is, it's not the Ice Spice situation that she complained about, because Sierra made good music.
No. But get what I'm saying is, it's a little bit different now, because back then it was just connection. If I know Sean, and me and Sean is the owner of a radio station, I'm like, yo, Sean, bro, I got an artist. She's dope. Check her out. I'll slide you her music. What we need to do.
Back then, you couldn't peddle garbage. Now you can pedal.
Yeah, you can. What are you talking about? See, this is my beef with you. You think this music is so much worse than what was happening back then? There were some trash back then too.
There was trash back then too.
We're gonna talk about them later today. 69 Boys.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't garbage.
You don't agree either?
That was not garbage.
Trash.
No, it was not.
Was trash.
I'm talking about content.
Hold on now. You're talking about bass music. I'm gonna defend bass music. That was an error. So I'm
not talking about the instruments. I'm talking about the content.
The content was great. I just. Bruh, stop. We're from Atlanta, bruh. Stop.
Yeah,
stop.
don't take
from Atlanta.
No. I'm from Miami.
The
So Def
from
Bass
where he's from.
Right.
I was there.
No, I'm not talking about Luke. I'm talking about Atlanta So Def Bass music.
You talking like Raheem the Dream?
He's talking about
all of them.
He's talking about the foundation of bass music.
Luke started all that stuff.
I got that, but what I'm saying, that was not trash.
Yeah,
that was not trash.
No, we're not talking about like we're not talking about the.
You can't generalize.
We're not talking about the pioneers of Atlanta rap. We're not talking about Raheem the Dream. We're not talking about Shadi. We're not talking about any of these people. We're talking about Luke. When he talking about
Luke,
he
said 69 Boys. You
that's
can't
the
put
same
60.
thing.
Hey, Luke had some hits, but I'm just saying that 2 Live Crew era, that was just trashy music.
That was trash.
You seen that video when they was on, was it Geraldo or something? They was on a talk show, and they were rapping them songs in front of the audience, and everybody was just looking like,
nah.
Like, they really gonna say this live on the air? Like,
oh no,
it was just crazy, bro.
But what I'm saying is that I never got into the Luke stuff. I never got into that. But when you say 69
Luke got
Boys,
into Atlanta.
It's fine.
Luke got into Atlanta.
So the bass music was not trash.
But if you were from Atlanta, you really didn't hear it, because I know my parents shielded me from it.
Oh yeah,
I was
couldn't
like
hear
a high
it either.
schooler, and it was like throw that whatever, throw that bleep, throw that bleep.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Like,
we never. I never heard that stuff. I never heard unedited Luke until I was maybe in my late 20s. I never heard unedited Luke.
The point is that do you agree that the industry pushed negative messages to our culture on purpose? That's what we're talking about.
What I'm saying is the music, you couldn't pedal trash back then the way you can pedal trash now.
What year are you talking about?
I'm talking about from the era where we just talked about.
Bro,
like,
it's been trash.
Jazzy Faye. I'm talking about Jazzy Faye,
2000
Sierra,
was trash.
that era.
It started like 95, 96.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Even before then. I think now, though, what she was saying about Ice Spice, I asked the same question. I'm looking at the Super Bowl. I'm like, why is Ice Spice up here with Taylor Swift? And then she up there with upside down crosses on and throwing up hand signals and licking her tongue. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? At the Super Bowl, y'all showing Ice Spice?
But she did a song with Ice Spice. Taylor Swift did a song with Ice Spice a couple, like last year.
But that's part of the that's part of the planting.
Yeah.
I got us off track. My bad.
No, but it's all part of it. Yeah. Because she claimed that vultures, this is her woke stuff. She claimed that vultures came into the industry and took it over and used our talent to push bad messages into community.
And I agree with that.
I agree.
But what I'm saying is, today, if Jazzy Faye walked into that station with Ice Spice album, it wouldn't fly with everybody in the room. No, it wouldn't.
Whatever he walks in there with.
Everybody in that station was going to walk out of that room and be swayed by that. Sierra's album was great. It was the classic album she put out.
Let me ask you a question.
And
Good.
like goodies. Yeah, all that stuff was like
Nasty.
Atlanta hits. That was Atlanta hits.
It was Freaknik stuff.
Hey, classic album is strong. It was some good songs on there, but classic album. She had some classic songs maybe.
Me and
with
classic.
the album
Me and the word classic don't mean the same.
So let me ask you a question.
I'm a Lil Jon and East Side Boys fan.
So
they don't think that's real music.
So Yin Yang Twins was good music?
No,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it was
good music, but it wasn't my music. It was
a
good
good
music,
beat.
but it wasn't my music.
It was good music.
It wasn't my music.
We're saying y'all comparing Ice Spice, and Ice Spice, all she is saying
they the
is
victims
the
of it,
exact
Chris.
same thing.
They the victims of it.
I'm saying,
if I'm from New Jersey, and I could say, growing up, I love Biggie. Biggie had mess. I can
that's
easily
fine.
say that.
But I'm talking about as far as not being good as a artist. Like that
You
wouldn't
mean
have happened. Quality, all of that.
But okay, but
It wasn't happening back
You
then.
believe that because you grew up with it. What if the kids today say Ice Spice is quality?
That's how they feel.
Yeah.
They believe that.
I'm talking about the radio
They think-
station.
they think-
I'm talking about
Okay,
the radio station. They wouldn't have been able to bring Ice Spice to us and everybody in that room walk out like, oh, we co-signed this. No,
No, y'all wouldn't. Y'all would have been like, because Ice Spice ain't nothing
Sierra was an easy co-sign because it was good.
but right here. Ice Spice ain't nothing but Kaya.
I didn't like Kaya.
But
got on the radio.
she got on the radio.
Was it one hit?
Yeah.
That's all I remember. And we had a lot of one-hit wonders.
That's all it
You
took.
did,
all
but
it took.
she got on the radio here.
She got on the radio, but
So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. My thing is right now, you can't.
Adina Howard.
Yeah. I mean, different people got on, so it's not like it's wrong that these people got on. It's just now that we're starting to see, and she's asking, going back to Candace Owens, she was asking questions like, who did this? And she talked about, I saw something when she talked about Sexy Red. Like, who put on Sexy Red? Who
she
put
said,
on
I agree.
She said real
You
people
understand
are
we're on
not
the
putting this
same-
music on. She's like, this has to be something
Yeah.
they're doing because you
Yeah.
ask a poll of black people.
Absolutely.
And this is what you want to listen to. Nobody's going to say, yeah, give me that. It's being put in our face and we don't
Yeah.
have no choice.
And
but to
I agree
digest
with
it.
But
that.
to me, it's been like that for years.
I agree.
It's never
But
been
what
like,
I'm
it's
saying
never
is-
been no time when maybe in the early years of hip hop, the golden age of 80s and 90s, but from our teenage years to now,
But y'all know,
it's just always been
y'all
like
know I'm
people
saying the
negative.
same exact thing y'all are saying, right? I'm just saying
But you're
that
You're making
defending
an
it.
exception
I'm
for stuff
saying
you like.
that I'm saying it's easier to peddle trash now than it was back then. In the situation
no.
with me in the
I'll say
Jazzy
this.
Face situation.
It's not easier to peddle trash now than it was back then. It's just more trash now than it was back then.
It's easier through social media. Social media makes it easier. We didn't have that stuff. We
Okay,
didn't
let me-
know about Sierra till
You
he
know
brought
what
the
you're
album
doing?
to us.
You're cycling trash. That's what you're doing. Like, you know how you have garbage and you have like regular garbage, but then you cycle. Like you're
Recycle.
saying like cycle and stuff. Like when we look at the music, listen to the music back then, even though it was good music, it was still trash music.
Yeah, it still had a
It
bad
still had a bad
I'm not
content to it.
saying that it wasn't.
Bruh, Kilo and Raheem, all the stuff you talking about, the music was trash, bro. Like, it was good music, but the message was trash,
I understand
bro.
that. I get
Yeah.
that.
That's what
different.
we're talking about here.
Yeah.
No,
the
no, no.
messages.
I'm saying the artist being trash. That's
No, no,
all I'm
but
saying.
we're
I'm a
talking about
nasty
the
dancer,
messages.
dancing for money.
Right.
That's
But I'm
trash.
saying the art.
Whether you
I'm not
like
talking
it-
about the-
whether
I'm
you
not
like
talking
it
about
or
the
not is
content.
irrelevant.
I'm not talking about the content.
But we are.
I'm talking about, I know
That's what
you
we
are.
talking
I'm talking about the art. The whole conversation me and Jeremiah just got on was I was like, you couldn't peddle trash as easy
We're
as
talking
you
about
could.
content, though.
Content. He's talking about content.
And I'm talking about content as well.
No, you're not. You just said you weren't.
No,
you talking about the style of the music. You liked it better.
No, never mind. I'm saying an artist like Sierra that he pushed to us, it worked because she was a good artist.
It worked because he pushed it.
Today, it worked because she was good.
And he pushed it. If you would have pushed Maria and Sophia, you would have. It would have been on. It would have been on the.
It wouldn't have worked.
Whether it worked long term or not, it would have got on the radio.
It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked.
Whatever he put in there, it would have got on the radio.
It wouldn't have worked.
Man, how many
We have
songs
a radio
came,
insider
how many
over here.
songs that came out in Atlanta from an artist we never heard from again after the summertime? You know what I'm saying? These artists came out last year, we'll never hear from again, bro. Like, they push trash music.
So so it sounds like we agree with that then.
Yeah.
Eventually, why are they doing that? What is the purpose of them putting negative content on our radio and in our community? What's the point?
Oh, y'all are the artists. Y'all speak on that.
I think the prison system is one of the biggest businesses going.
Yeah.
So
I
if
agree
I
with
can
that.
put music out here to make men want to go to jail from killing each other and sell drugs, and I promote that message to make it seem cool, now I'm funding my business. If I can get young ladies to want to go out here and live this ratchet lifestyle and do all these different kind of things. Now we have an agenda to where we can say the world is getting out of control. Now we can put control and put parameters around how people function.
Yeah.
And we can do things that we want to do. Now you're giving us justification to put certain laws and certain rules in place because everything is going out of control.
It's basically they clone Tyrone.
Yeah. But why does it work though? It couldn't work if people didn't buy it. If we didn't buy into it, why does it work?
Because it's cool. It looks attractive. It's one of the biggest temptations of our culture is to look bigger or even look like that's the key to success versus other ways of avenues of success.
It also makes it work. It also works because they make it work and tell us what to work. Like when we were if we used to do this thing where if a radio, if you know, this doesn't happen anymore. It might still happen. I don't listen to regular radio anymore. But it was you call in and you request whatever song you want to hear.
That was a lie.
I had a sheet.
It was.
I had a sheet, and in an hour I filled in 100 songs. I filled in 100 songs. We never got through those songs because we played the same songs every 4 hours.
Radio's a scam.
They'll make you like what you hear because you've heard it so many times.
I love radio.
Well, social media is a scam.
Exactly.
Then. If that be the case,
It just moved to social media.
Yeah, it just moved to social media. And to
there's a part.
piggyback on what you're saying, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Women. Today, everybody want microwave money. If I can get it tomorrow, if I can get $1 billion tomorrow or $1 million a night, a quarter of $1,000,000 a night, I'm popping, locking, dropping, big booty, popping. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what makes it so lucrative.
Yeah, it's
instead of getting out
money.
there, and doing it the hard way.
Fast attention, fast money.
There's a part in the Freaknik documentary that it hit me like crazy, and I wanted to talk about that when we get to that point. But essentially, Freaknik was its own social media, Instagram. Yeah, they had an example in there.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. But then also what they said the Atlanta artists did during Freaknik was like an Instagram situation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was a street team.
So we'll get into Freaknik later. So stick around. But we got to get back into some more music. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. Hey, what's going on? I hope you liked that video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Trackstarz Universe. In the meantime, continue to watch our channel by clicking on this next video right now.